Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The diagnostic trouble code, DTC P0404, indicates an issue with the exhaust gas recirculation, EGR, valve circuit performance in your Honda Odyssey, specifically models manufactured between 2011 and 2017. The EGR system plays a crucial role in reducing nitrogen oxide emissions by recirculating a portion of the exhaust back into the intake manifold. This process lowers the combustion temperature, thereby minimizing harmful emissions. If the EGR valve isn't functioning correctly, it can lead to higher emissions and decreased vehicle performance. The vehicle's onboard diagnostics system monitors the EGR valve and associated circuits to ensure they operate within specified parameters. If there's a discrepancy, the P0404 DTC is stored in the system, indicating a potential fault in the valve or its circuit. In detail, this DTC directly relates to the EGR valve's ability to modulate exhaust gas flow into the intake manifold. The EGR valve is integral in managing the emission control system, helping to limit nitrogen oxide emissions produced during combustion. Located near the intake manifold, the EGR valve is strategically placed to effectively recirculate exhaust gases. Any malfunction in this valve affects its ability to regulate exhaust gas flow, potentially causing the engine to run less efficiently and increasing harmful emissions. The vehicle's engine control module, ECM, continuously tracks the performance of the EGR system by assessing signals from various sensors. When the recorded data falls outside the expected range, it triggers the P0404 code. A few underlying issues can lead to the P0404 code being triggered. Firstly, a faulty EGR valve itself may fail to open or close properly, resulting in performance issues. Wiring problems, such as damaged or frayed wires, can interfere with communication between the EGR valve and the ECM. Additionally, defects in the connectors, like corrosion or loose connections, can also disrupt the circuit, leading to inaccurate sensor readings. Any of these faults might result in an ecologically detrimental situation as the vehicle's emissions controls become ineffective. Proper diagnostic steps must be taken to pinpoint these issues precisely, ensuring both performance and compliance with emission standards. When the P0404 code is present, drivers may notice several symptoms that indicate a problem with the EGR system. The most apparent symptom is the illumination of the check engine light on the dashboard, alerting the driver to a detected fault. Additionally, one might experience reduced engine performance, particularly during acceleration, as the engine struggles to adapt to an improper air-fuel mixture, resulting from an ineffective EGR system. Increased emissions can also occur, which is detrimental not only to the environment, but may also place the vehicle in violation of emissions regulations. Furthermore, you might observe changes in engine noise or unusual exhaust odors, pointing to abnormal combustion conditions. It's crucial to address these symptoms promptly to ensure optimal engine operation and environmental responsibility. The first step in resolving the P0404 code involves turning the ignition switch to the on position without starting the engine. This allows for various diagnostics checks to be carried out. Before proceeding, it is essential to record all freeze frame data and any onboard snapshots, as this information helps identify the conditions leading up to the fault. Reviewing general troubleshooting information is also vital, as it can provide additional insights into common issues associated with the EGR system. By gathering this data, you will be better prepared for the subsequent diagnostic steps, ensuring an efficient troubleshooting process. After recording the necessary data, Proceed to clear the DTC using the HDS, or Honda Diagnostic System. This tool allows technicians to interface with the vehicle's onboard computer, reset any stored trouble codes, and prepare the system for live testing. Clearing the DTC is an important step, as it ensures that any intermittent issues that may have triggered the code will not affect the follow-up diagnostics. After clearing the code, the system will be reset, thus providing a fresh start for the engine diagnostics. This cleared data enables the technician to observe if the code reappears during subsequent troubleshooting, indicating a persistent issue. Next, start the engine and hold the engine speed at approximately 3,000 RPM without a load, while the vehicle is in either park, P, or neutral, N. This step must be maintained until the radiator fan initializes, indicating that the engine is reaching appropriate operational conditions. Holding the RPM under these conditions allows the EGR system to be exercised under a controlled scenario, helping to identify any failures. Once the radiator fan activates, the engine is considered warmed up sufficiently to move on to further tests. Observing the engine's behavior during this period can give crucial clues about the state of the EGR system and whether it is functioning properly. In this step, you will conduct the EGR test using the inspection menu available on the HDS. This test evaluates how well the EGR valve is performing under standard operating conditions. Following the test, you will need to assess the results carefully. If the results indicate that the EGR system passed the test, it might suggest that the code was triggered due to an intermittent failure. Thus, the system is functioning adequately at that moment. In such cases, cleaning any carbon buildup on the EGR valve with throttle plate cleaner may be beneficial. Conversely, if the results are not satisfactory, it indicates that further troubleshooting is necessary, since the EGR system is not performing to expectations. Once the EGR test results are reviewed, turn the ignition switch to the lock 0 position to ensure safety before proceeding with disconnections. Disconnect the EGR valve's 5P connector, which is essential for measuring electrical resistance and diagnosing any circuit-related issues. This connector houses multiple terminals, crucial for signaling between the EGR valve and the ECM. Preparing for resistance checks at this point ensures that you are able to confirm whether the problem lies within the EGR valve itself or its electrical connections. Proper handling during this step is crucial, as any damage could complicate further diagnostics. At this stage, you will measure the resistance between terminals number 3 and number 4 of the EGR valve's 5P connector. Utilizing a multimeter, you should conduct this measurement to check for continuity and proper function within the circuit. A reading of 100 kiloohms or more indicates that the circuit is functioning adequately, suggesting that the EGR valve is likely without electrical faults. If the measured resistance is adequate, this directs you to proceed to step 25 for further diagnostics or repairs. This measurement is critical as it verifies the integrity of the electrical connection and confirms whether the issue lies elsewhere in the EGR system. If the resistance reading from the previous step is found to be below 100 kiloohms, the next step involves measuring the resistance between terminals number 2 and number 4 of the EGR valve's 5P connector. This measurement will give further insight into potential defects in the EGR valve's wiring or connectors that may not have been identified in prior checks. Again, using a multimeter, ensure that the resistance measures at least 100 kiloohms. If the resistance is satisfactory, you may need to delve deeper into the EGR system. Conversely, if this measurement indicates below the threshold, it suggests potential wiring issues or a malfunctioning EGR valve that requires further investigation. After completing all necessary repairs related to the P0404 code, it's crucial to verify that the repair work has effectively resolved the issue. This confirmation process involves rerunning the relevant diagnostic tests to ensure that the EGR system is now functioning properly. Check for any recurring diagnostic trouble codes in the system. If the P0404 code resurfaces, it may indicate an unresolved issue or a need for additional repair efforts. It's essential for vehicle performance and adherence to emission standards that the repairs are confirmed to be successful. By taking this verification step, technicians ensure that the vehicle operates optimally and maintain compliance with ecological regulations. Preventive maintenance is essential to avoid future occurrences of DTC P0404 and ensure the longevity of the EGR system. Regularly cleaning the EGR valve can prevent carbon buildup, which can impair valve operation. Additionally, it's wise to frequently inspect the wiring and connectors associated with the EGR system for any signs of wear, damage, or corrosion, as these factors can lead to circuit disruptions. Incorporating routine diagnostic checks into regular vehicle maintenance allows for early detection of issues before they escalate. By establishing a proactive maintenance routine, vehicle owners can enhance performance, minimize repair costs, and ensure compliance with emission standards over time. In conclusion, understanding the role of the EGR system in your Honda Odyssey is vital for addressing the P0404 code effectively. Following a structured troubleshooting process allows technicians to identify the root cause of EGR issues, whether they stem from the valve itself, wiring, or connections. It is crucial to maintain a meticulous approach to diagnostics, ensuring that all steps are followed thoroughly before completing repairs. Regular vehicle checkups and preventive maintenance practices will reduce the likelihood of recurring problems, ultimately enhancing your vehicle's performance while being environmentally responsible. Staying proactive about maintenance and diagnostics helps secure a safer, cleaner driving experience. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.